Record. Okay, all right. Uh, Thank you everyone for joining this session, taking your time on a Friday evening. So thank you, Shubhanjali, for accepting and being very happy and honest to deliver this session for us. So a quick intro about Shubhanjali. So she is a director of Women Who Code, Chennai chapter, and she's a senior member of technical staff and a product owner at VMware. So she has done her postgraduate diploma from IIM Ahmedabad in advanced business analytics. And also she has done various projects on data visualization, ML, AI, and NLP. And I think, yeah, that's how she's here. And we can be really confident on the content that she's going to deliver. And her capstone project that she did was predicting and comparing the option prices using Python in the Indian stock market pre and post COVID. And she's also a DEI champion, and she's part of core inclusion team at VMware. And she has hosted a lot of events along with me for Women Who Code. And she's in general, she's a very enthusiastic, personal, and more career focused and more technical, I should say. Thanks a lot, Shubhanjali, and it's all to you. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, wonderful. Thank you, Pavitra. That was a great
Yeah.
that was a great intro. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so thank you all for joining and good evening, everybody. So this session is about generative AI 101. So like we suddenly woke up one day from sleep and the LinkedIn is flooded with what to do, how to make money, how to become billionaires, millionaires, right? Generative AI is everywhere. And I mean, you cannot help it. We have to be a part of it. So like, am I an expert on that? No, nobody is, because it is just an evolving field, you know. Even Google was very late to come out in the market. So I'm nobody. So yeah, so with that thing in place, like I have tried to understand what this thing generative AI is all about based on my background in machine learning, AI, and NLP. And I have tried to break it down into parts so that you can understand about this, right? So yeah, let me move forward. And this, I have tried to keep it a bit interactive. So let me know. I mean, you have to put the answers in the chat box for the questions and all. And I hope you guys have a good time with this. So yeah, moving forward. Wow. This will definitely take my job, you know, generative AI, I can't move a slide forward. Anyway, yeah. So I will cover introduction, how generative AI works, applications, challenges and limitations, the future and conclusion, right? Okay, so yeah, we start here. Please let me know what do you understand by generative AI. Put it in the chat, whatever you guys understand by it. Fastest fingers, first, last, whatever. Just do it. Just whatever is your understanding with the buzzwords, you know, Google articles coming, random people will tell you what is it. Like, put it in the chat. Okay, I'm in full screen mode. So I can't see the chat.
Guys, you can feel free to post your answers on the chat.
Yeah, please put your answers in the chat.
Yeah, Shubhanjali, maybe I can read out the answers for you from the chat. So I just told that it does everything. So that's my understanding about it.
Hmm.
And yeah, Ashok is saying that getting things done with a touch of human intelligence.
Wonderful. Okay.
And
Yeah.
one more answer from Kaushalya's AI that can generate anything, images, stories, etc., based on our input.
Oh, wow. She already answered my second question. So what all can it do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So what is generative AI? It is AI. It's artificial intelligence that can create new content. So the idea here is create new content. Why is that so important, this part? Because when we were doing machine learning, when we were doing other things in the before, we were not creating new content, right? Like in NLP, there were different models where you were trying to do sentiment analysis, like based on the tweets. So you are just doing a sentiment analysis based on the things that you provide to it, like the neutral, positive, negative. Or you can generate a word cloud saying with the words which are already there. But there was no to and fro happening, right? It was not like somebody is coming and creating new content for you. For regression, for machine learning, for all these things, you feed it data and it will run it on its model. It will run on different models, and based on that data, it will give you the accuracy, the different scores, and then you can find out whether your model is good or not. Generative AI, the name generate means it will create new content, and it can be text, images, or music, right? So now, yeah, time for some magic. Okay, so what I did was, I actually, since I was doing a generative AI thing, I had to also, take some help of this thing. So I went to Bard. Bard is a Google chatbot, and I'll pause it for you here. So this is what I wrote. You are a writer who can write viral content. Write a LinkedIn post about a virtual session that I'm hosting on generative AI and why people should join that session and how the session will be very helpful to them. So this is what I gave to Bard, and you can read it here. Bard is still in its experimental phase. Chatting with it and rating its responses will help improve the experience. So we will come back to the rating responses part and this part, like how will the experience improve the more you use a particular tool, right? So, okay, this is what I wrote. I wanted Bard is now calculating. It's trying to go in the background and trying to generate something for me. So see, wonderful post. I mean, it's better than what I would have written, right? Join me for a virtual session. I'm excited to announce this date and time in this session. So it's covering most of all what you want to, and then it'll also give you the things. So basically, it is covering whatever was there in my prompt. If it has more or less gone to the Google website and whatever data it is trained on, and based on that, it has given this to me, right? So this is Bard. Let me know if you want me to pause it in middle, if you want to go to read it or something. But yeah, so this is how will this session be helpful, this, that, I hope you will join me. So it's more or less good conversational, these things. I now went to Chat GPT, same copy paste, right? Now Chat GPT is like, just it is in a different way that it is writing, with a lot of emojis, a lot of this thing. So now that makes me wonder, I have seen a lot of LinkedIn posts with people using all these emojis. They could be Chat GPT posts. So you guys can be careful before liking those posts, because Bard will not use these things. Chat GPT is very active in, because I have written viral, you are a viral influencer. So the study shows that okay, now I didn't find it funny. So I'm saying make it funny and brief. It was like very boring and very long, and I would not have copied it. So the idea that I'm trying to tell you guys is that these large language models, right, which we have, it is, I mean, we cannot give enough importance to the prompt, because if the prompt is not, like we are hearing this prompt engineering and all that, if you are not telling it exactly what you want, you will get very stupid answers, or the answers that you will not be helpful to you, right? But if you just give it very clearly what you want, it can more or less come closer to what you might not have come up with, but it will give you ideas. So I asked it to make it brief and funny, because it was very boring and very long. So it again started with what I noticed. I'll tell you what I noticed in its response. Here's why you should join the party. LOL at AI. So by funny, it is meaning the synonyms of funny, LOL, then something, jingles, then, red pill. But it is not funny. Stay ahead of the curve. It is very boring only, not funny. But it is using all those words, because it finds that in this thing, AI jokes, we promise they won't be too nerdy. I didn't find this joke funny at all, to be frank. And I would not be posting it, right, with a lot of these emojis and all. So it's not good enough. I told it what to do. It is not good enough. Now let me see what Bard does. Right? Let's look at it. Come this, okay. If you bring a bag of chips, I'll teach you how to generate your own flavor of Pringles. So this is one funny thing it wrote. But other than that, it is not mostly funny. It was like solid under. It's more like, you want people to come join your thing. So I personally found Bard a little bit more aligned to what I was looking to do, right? So you guys can go. You should definitely try it out. And with practice, you will understand which one is better and why the prompt is so important. Why is it so important to, sometimes we hear about things like it hallucinates, it gives incorrect answer. It will give it. But your prompt, what you want it to do, it has to be extremely clear. So Bard, as we know, is by Google, very recently released. ChatGPT was the first entrant in the market by Microsoft, by OpenAI, which is owned by Microsoft. So like then the AI wars have started. Now everybody is on it. Okay. So this was about Bard and Chat GPT. So do you guys have any questions here about the usage? I if you just Google search Bard and just Google search Chat GPT, you will find it. You will have to probably sign in for Chat GPT, maybe not for Bard, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think you should totally be using it for all your things, right? So any questions here?
Yeah, should be Ashok here. So what I'm understanding is like Bard has limitations over OpenAI, and is that right? As in, I haven't tried either of them, but what based out of what I've heard, I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'll tell you why that is. Because OpenAI came in, I think, November, right? So with these large language models, what happens is the more you use the tool, the better it gets, right? So the problem is not Google has the most data. Microsoft does not have that much data also. Google has all the search histories, YouTube captions, everything. It has all the amount of data, but it was a little late in the game. So what happened? The tool that people started using first, it kept getting better and better and better and better. So it's like it's not about the
It's
data
like
you
open
have.
source contribution.
It's an open source contribution, and more people are using, and they are doing thumbs up, thumbs down. So the model in the backend is learning. So it's learning at an exponential speed because it has some billion parameters on which it is tuned. So it is also revising itself and it is giving better answers. So I have also heard that Bard is not as good as Chat GPT, and now we have other things, the GPT-4 and Chat GPT that we get is the free version. If you pay, they will give you a better version of Chat GPT, which is even better at answering questions. So the problem that you are telling me, it is because it was a little late to enter into the market. So most of the people have been using Chat GPT for 5-6 months now. So the model has become that much more times better. But Bard has large amount of data. The training is wonderful. Like the data on which it is trained is great. But still, just because of the user input, because we will go further and see that these models worked on reinforce human feedback, right? So when you keep giving it human feedback that, okay, I like the answer, like here I gave feedback, right? Make it brief and funny. So it understood I will not take that answer of yours. So the next time tomorrow, if I'll ask it, it will not give me the same answer. It will give me a different answer, right? So that is the adoption rate also determines. So the more people will adopt some model, it will become better. So that is one reason that Bard might not be as good now.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense. And also both Bard and OpenAI are still descriptive results, right? We don't still don't have uh, image or any results based on images or something of that sort, or
Not in
videos or any
these are
media.
LLMs only. These are large language models only. For image and all, we have GPT-4, which is multimodal. It takes all sorts of inputs based on which you can generate whatever output you want, like
Okay, sure.
summarization of a video, this and that. But I don't think it is. I'm not sure if it is available for without license to be used. I think it is a paid version.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so that was great, right? It was like, oh wow, I could just write my LinkedIn post. Now my time is so free, I can just sit and relax. Now let me show you what else can you do. This is what something I did. I did it actually. So this is another. So this is another. This is not an it's based on top of LLM. It's a wrapper on top of LLM, but this is a different thing. So this is a PowerPoint maker. So just on the basis of something, it'll create. Just see. Don't want to spoil the surprise. So create a presentation with bullet points and not You guys got this thing, right? What was I asking it to do? So what I told him, because I had this PPT to make and I had read a lot of inspiring LinkedIn articles that, okay, you have to be productive, this, that. So who will open PPT, put this, that and all? I thought, let me see if they can make a PPT for me. So I just gave them a normal human language prompt, with trying to be as precise as I could be, though it is not that precise also. Give it a normal human language prompt. Now let's see what happens. So I've given these are the more or less the topics I want to cover: generative AI, introduction, benefits and drawbacks. Now it is creating presentation, generating outlines, and it created 7-8 slides full with pictures, with text, with conclusion, with benefits. And it saved so much of time. Though I wanted to be honest to you guys and I didn't use it, but I could have used it and you would not have made out. So you have to be careful who is working hard and who is not. See, I just had to write one prompt. I didn't do anything. It just, and now what will I do? I will just tweak it, break it down into bullet points. I had given it like make it into the bullet points. It did not, but that I can do, right? So when they say AI will not take your jobs, people using AI will, that means that give the grind to AI, give the like if I have to write about generative AI, I will read 5 articles. I will do some research, write it myself, look for some pictures from Mid-Journey here, what is happening, this thing. If I just give it to this, it'll generate 6 to 7 slides. I can tweak it here and there, and then I can use it based on my customization. So this is a productivity tool. That is what people are talking about. I don't think it is the state at which it is in right now that it will take our jobs, but it is very powerful. And it is definitely a huge productivity gain if we know how to use it and if we learn how to use it. So this presentation was created and it is amazing, right? So any questions here? Okay. So before I move on to the next slide, I wanted to share a link with you, which I wanted you guys to go and have fun yourself. So before I go there, I'll just stop sharing so that you don't know what's coming next. Let me share that link with you quickly. And you guys should go there and try it out. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So this is the link. Please click on it and open it and try it out. Open your laptop's front camera, upload your image and click on generate. All of you just do that. I'm waiting for 1 minute. I want you guys to do that. Click on the link in the chat box. I'm also doing it simultaneously with you. Click on the link in the chat box. Okay. You will open. Okay. Let me actually. Yeah, you got this, right? There is a source image. Take a photo with your webcam, click on that, upload your picture. Then there is the micro motion, which is there. And do submit. And once you are done, let me know. Are you guys doing it? Please do it. You should know why.
Yes.
We should be knowing what is happening. It is happening fast. Any luck? Anybody? Anything? Or is it generating? Is it like still running? What is happening?
Hey, should we have taken the photo? What else I have uploaded?
Yeah, scroll down, scroll down. You have taken the picture. Below you see there is a video which will be morphed. And there niche there is submit. Click on submit. There is a this forgot the Jackie Chan's video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Below this
that.
there submit. Yeah, submit. Click on submit. and then
Mhm.
let me know, guys.
Okay, it's running. It is saying predict.
So yeah, one more thing. So why does it take so much time to run and everything with Chat GPT and Bard? Because obviously you have it has to go and match the things. It has to go into that model in the backend, and there are a billion parameters based on which it has to do so many things. So this is still a very it still returns the output in seconds, but the proper um, softwares on this, it takes 4 or 5 computers which will be running for 3 or 4 days continuously to generate one this kind of a video. Anybody got anything?
Mine is still running for longer time.
Okay. So yeah, I think we can just wait for 1 2 minutes, because the rest of the content is I really want you to, because I was shocked. And it is so I'm telling you, so this technology, okay, so I'll tell you, so this technology is kind of a deep fake technology that the link of which I have put in the chat. You must have heard a lot about deep fake, like people are calling about the ethical concerns of deep fake, like you create a fake person, make him talk whatever you want to talk. Now these creation of these deep fakes take a lot of time to generate. The beauty of that website is it does it in a few minutes or seconds, minutes. So that means the underlying model is so fine tuned with so much of data, with so much of data, with so much of data, that it can throw out the result that much fast. So anybody got anything? Are you guys trying?
Yeah, I've got mine. Shubha.
Actually, it is so funny.
Right. That's good. So is it looking similar to what you look, or is it like, I'll show you what mine looks like.
Jackie Jen's face, actually. Its
Yeah.
facial reactions are Jackie's one, but
Yeah.
uh,
So
videos
I did that. So this is mine. So his eyes are kind of shut. So my eyes are kind of shut. The way he's moving his head, my head is moving like that. So this is without audio that we are doing right now, right? For me, at least, it came without audio. But I think if we look for it more, we will also find it with audio. So imagine what can you do, right? You can put anybody's picture, anybody's this thing, and you can merge the audio. Right now, there is no audio, so there is not much fun in it. But these are the deepfake technologies that people are talking about, and the amount of computation that will go in the back end, that your head, even when it is turning, because I put a static picture, but it is able to move that picture, right? Move that picture according to the video. So each and every image, small splice of that video had my image pasted on it, with the head also bending. So that thing takes a lot of computation, which people, which is what is scary, right? And this is very basic free available software. So you imagine if, like, people really have resources and money, it can become very, very powerful. Okay. So okay, any questions? I think it is just clear. So the technology behind, I will not go in very much detail in that. The technology is where each and every image will be mapped to the video each and every time. And sometimes it can, like, if it was a longer video, it would have broken. You would see that your boundary is going here, your the video is coming here, your hairline is going here and there. But since it was a very small video, it was able to like, the fidelity was maintained, so to speak. Yeah. Any question?
Just to add a point, I think I saw a video recently. It's a conversation between Bill Gates and Socrates. As in, like, it's like more like an interview, I guess. Socrates asking about today's technology and about AI, I believe. If possible, I'll share that link. That's about this one.
Yeah. I just put it in the chat. I think I have Bill Gates and
Socrates.
oh wow. Nice. Cool. So I think this is what people are talking about, the ethical concerns, because there will be no privacy, right? You can say that, okay, Trump was saying something there. You can just say, and how can you verify the authenticity? And right now people have videos. Oh, well, how do you find out if something is deep fake? But this is because we are at the beginning. But what will happen when these models become better and better? It'll be indistinguishable, right? So you can, I mean, so this is a video. So now you can basically, people when they go on Instagram, when they have to say that, okay, I went to Paris, I went here and there, you can just make yourself in some place, just put some people, 4-5 pictures, you put another Paris picture and then morph it. You can have a video, you can all, so Instagram can be dead. You can make all of this yourself without doing anything. The software will do it for you.
Based on what you asked us to try out. When I tried the sample with my image, what the input image that I gave is along with my upper half of the body. And I selected the data set as Taiji, apart from the default one, which is Watch.
Right.
The result wasn't that great. It took the entire frame as such, and just it didn't focus on the face. And then I changed the data set to walks, and then it was similar to what you showed. It was much better, but with the difference in data set, the first one was really bad. It just blurred off my face. So it was just a data set name difference, right? Or it's based on the nature at which it was trained.
No. So basically the drop down that you see there, Vox, I think I'm forgetting what are the other options, but that is based on the kind of input you are giving. So like if there is one thing called TED, right? So the TED means that you are on stage and you are kind of giving a talk, right? So that if you put an image, a small image, which somebody is giving a talk and you put your face Vox on top, you can put it on LinkedIn and say, I just gave a TED talk at Tesla. And the recruiters can come to you, oh wow, this lady, or so that is the thing. And also like when you are putting Vox, so the training that happens at the underlying models, you have to train it not only on random, like all sorts of images, first of all, because you need to differentiate. Secondly, you have to train it on a lot of faces. A lot of faces will go to identify that this is a face structure. So just this much only you have to focus on. Yeah, sure. So how generative AI works. So it'll work different for different outcomes. Obviously, I mean, there is not the same way that it'll work for everything. Like for large language models, for ChatGPT or Bard, it works differently. For images, it's called stable diffusion, which I'll not be covering today. There will be no time. Deepfakes will be motion transfer between images and videos. So I will be focusing on large language models. Very, very top level view, very top level view, because I think we don't have that much time. Okay, so I want you guys to answer what do you understand by GPT? What is GPT? Are the options I've already given here? So put it in the chat box. I can't see the chat. So Pavitra, if you could tell me if anybody waiting.
Okay, Ashok says all of the above.
Okay. So large language model is clear because it is built on too much of language training data. Universal approximator means it is approximating what should be the next word. So, okay. Generative AI because it is generating text. Neural network because the underlying thing, the network, there is a neural network which is tuned on too many billion parameters based on which the outcome is coming. Artificial intelligence because obviously it's not human intelligence. Artificially somebody is giving you some answer that is intelligent. Simulator because it is simulating this thing. Output result. Text predictor, explanatory. Writing assistant, yeah. Content generator, yes. Agent, yes. Agent is something that I think we will not be able to cover it here, but also these tools, like apart from LLM, there is something known as Auto GPT, which you can tell him in human language, right? That, okay, I want to book a tickets from Chennai to Bangalore, and then book me a hotel, and then send me a memo. So you just have to write that. It based on certain plugins, it will take your input, it will go to the web, go to that particular place, and it will book it. It will go. So the agent means it will do a fully autonomous thing, but your prompt has to be clear, right? Chatbot, yes. Transformer is the underlying model on which it is built, which we will not be able to cover now. GPT is the GPT, the T here means transformer. So transformer is, it was first actually an open source paper. The Google developers had developed it somewhere in, I think, 2019. And people say the problem that it is, they made it open source, right? So this was a game changer. Basically, before that, there used to be convolutional neural network, reinforcement neural, CNN, RNN, NN, right? So these neural networks they would need it used to be a black box, and they would need a huge amount of hardware to process. It would take a lot of time. Transformer was a game changer in the way it would be able to predict very difficult input into an output. So that transformer methodology was developed by Google. They had a paper which they had released in 2019. OpenAI picked it up. They started developing on top of it, and they came in the market first. So Google kind of was behind in this thing, but the transformer technology was theirs. Okay, so if you start, so like I said, it started in 2019. So there has been ChatGPT just didn't come out of nowhere. This is the only thing that kind of became popular because of its ability to talk. So what is it doing? You know, so it's GPT 2, 3 and GPT 3.5 called Instruct GPT, then ChatGPT happened, right? So I'm not going to here. I'm starting from GPT 3. So what happens is you give it an input, it gets fed into GPT 3, which is a transformer model, and it will give an output. The cat sat on the mat, whatever. And how is this output coming? Based on like humongous data that it has seen from the internet and different places. So it is like, okay, this is the most, so it's predicting, this model is doing the word to predict the exact next word. That is all it is doing. So it is trained to predict the next word in the sentence using the previous words. These training words were extracted from the internet and books, right? So Common Crawl, like, and this is like from the paper where GPT was released. So it's taken from the paper. So Common Crawl, the white paper. So Common Crawl is these many tokens, this tokens, and these many tokens means the words that it has taken. So after training, what GPT-3 can do, it can do something very useful. It can calculate the table with probability of each next word. So you can auto-complete any input. So that's all there is. This is like a huge, this thing about it's magic. It's just calculating a probability table based on the training data that it had, huge amount of training data. And it's assigning probability, what could be the next most probable word, and that it will input, that will output for you. That's why it's not a fixed thing. Like when we used to have chatbots, right? You ask one chatbot one question. Every time you ask it the same question, like say Zomato, Swiggy, or even our company's chatbot, the answers will not vary that much. But here what happens is it's not a fixed answer that you have provided that, you know, for this thing, this answer. It'll be, there will be a probability and it will be predicting the next word. So the word, and that's how by parsing and all, there's a paragraph or something that can get generated. So this is GPT-3. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Generative because it can generate the next word. Pre-trained because it was pre-trained on a lot of text from internet. And so Transformer is the underlying deep neural network, uses a particular kind of network architecture called transformer. So this is a network architecture. So if you guys are interested, you can check. There's a white paper on that. Like, what is it? What is a transformer? How does it work and all? But this is the full form of GPT. So now, why didn't we stop at GPT? Why are we constantly making things better, and how can we make things better? So now what happened, like if you ask a question to GPT-3, explain the moon landing to a 6-year-old in few sentences. So GPT-3 will be finding similar things. Okay, explain the theory of gravity to a 6-year-old, explain this, explain that, because it has to find the most probable thing. So it is thinking that, okay, this, wherever there is explain to a 6-year-old and physics related thing and something like this. So I will put all the physics related thing in a similar fashion to a similar 6-year-old. So this was GPT-3. It was finding the most probable word because you had trained it on that, but this was the result that was coming. So Instruct GPT would be replying this. People went to the moon, they took pictures, and we all could see them. So I'm saying, why did we go to GPT-3 to Instruct GPT? So GPT-3, Instruct GPT is 3.5. Okay. So how did suddenly Instruct GPT become better? Like, what did we do different? We basically had to train it on question and answers, like written, like questions and answers, because we have to say that we are asking a question to you. Apart from finding the next predicted word, you have to understand that it's a question and answer. And some questions that humans have asked GPT-3, humans created themselves. So this answer that is there, people went to the moon, this answer was created by a human and fed to this. Some questions that humans have asked GPT humans created good answers for them. So there were good answers, such pairs of good. So 11,000 human written question answers and some 1,500 good question answers. So total, these many things were question and answers was given on training data. So there is one internet data, full data, which was available to GPT-3 also, full internet and everything. Then on top of that, you give it other set of data, which is like question and answers. 12,500 Q&As were given. Then train more. Train the same model, GPT-3 model only. You don't change the underlying model. So you are understanding the difference, right? We are not going to the GPT transformer and changing things there. We are just changing the number of parameters that we are using to tune it, to make it become better. So that's why, coming back to Ashok's question, why is Chat GPT more accurate than BARD? Because it constantly is going and making itself better. So you then fine tune, then it's supervised learning. Supervised learning is when you're supervising, okay, this is right or wrong. So you're supervising that whatever you're learning it right, or you're not learning it wrong. So thumbs up and thumbs down. So it's called supervised fine tuning, right? And then Q&As were ranked. Okay, this Q&A, whatever you were replying me, I liked it, I didn't like it. So it was learning again, just based on that feedback, it was learning. So just too much of reading. I will not go to so much of this thing. So what happens, this you will hear this term, reinforcement learning from human feedback. So you are giving it feedback and it is learning again and again and again. So this was the distance between GPT-3 and 3.5. What was the difference? The difference was you added Q&A training data and you made it suitable to answer a question. So all of this is there. It's too much of reading. I'm not reading it. Okay. So now what is Chat GPT then? So Chat GPT is fine-tuned from a model in the GPT 3.5 series. So we were good till Instruct GPT. Now this is again from OpenAI blog. Like they're explaining what Chat GPT is. So this training model uses reinforcement learning from human feedback using the same methods as Instruct GPT, but with slight differences in data collection setup. Okay. So till here we are fine. Till here it is same till 3.5. But this but portion, but with slight differences in data collection setup, that is the only difference that we have from 3.5 to Chat GPT. And we have done till so far. I think we understand what does it mean till here. So we understand a little bit of Chat GPT. Now, what is different? This is again from OpenAI blog. You can read it. I will not be reading it. I just wanted you guys to know that what are they trying to make you understand. So the training data now, instead of Q&A, you made it conversations. Since we are building a chatbot, you are like, okay, you are trained on Q&A, but I want a conversation, like, okay, to back and forth. And it is trained on dialogue training data. That's why it can get personas, right? I wrote there, you are a viral LinkedIn creator, or you will read multiple articles where they are like, oh, he treated this Chat GPT treated my dog's disease or something. You have to give it a persona because it is trained on conversation. So it knows, okay, this persona, doctor, and then Dr. WebMD and all these things, it will combine and it will respond to you like a doctor. That is why it can talk like a human. It is not a chatbot. In a chatbot, so the difference between a chatbot and Chat GPT, you guys should be very clear. And why is that difference? And what was the progress? And then Chat GPT came and it exploded. But it was being constantly, improved upon. So is there any question here? Because this will come in your exams. I'm joking. Any question?
Yeah, Shubhanjali, I have a question. So since you called about the exams, right? So I wanted to be a little serious
Yeah,
about it.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So this is not about this slide, but I think holistically what I can sense is when we say the cat is sitting on the mat or something, in few years, if we start saying that cat is sitting on a zebra, then I think if people start reiterating the same, that a zebra would be the most prominent word. And end of the day, after it keeps on learning from our answers, someday it would even predict that zebra is the right word, right? So that's how it is. So it is
Yeah.
mostly on how we use it. And if I have to ensure that it does something this way, cat on a zebra, then if I keep on giving it, treating it that way, I think it'll start learning rather than a standard repository. It is not like it'll always say the same things, right?
Correct. And that's actually a wonderful point that I will like, because that is one of the limitation. In fact, a lot of people said that Chat GPT is very woke. Why it is so woke? It is so woke because most of the people who are using the internet are using, by using, I mean putting their things in also, right? Like writing articles, doing this and that. They are mostly in US. They're mostly they are in the US and the UK. Those people have some different sensibilities around culture, everything else. So they are more woke about everything. So this chat GPT is woke because the only data that it is getting is by the people who are using more and more internet. So the people who are using more and more internet are kind of making chat GPT like them. So if like I want to search something, it will give me a very woke reply because I have not used enough, I have not done a lot of writing on the net to give my part of the opinion also. I have not written everything about like how it is in India or how it is in a different country. Most of it will be how it is there because they have written most about it. So that is why ChatGPT is going to be very woke and it will just keep learning from whatever it gets. So that was a very good point. Yeah, there is not a fixed answer to anything. It'll keep changing depending on what becomes more and more probable. Like probability table, it will calculate, and that probability can change based on the underlying data.
I have
Yeah.
one question, Shubhi. So,
Yeah,
so you spoke about reinforcement. So for example, you said like it gets
yeah.
better
So I
over
lost
and
you.
over.
I lost you there.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. You spoke about reinforcement learning, right? And you
Hmm.
said my ChatGPT or Bard will get better as and when people are using more and more responses that we get, it get refined itself and apparently give the best of the results. So what will happen in case of a vanilla instance? Say for example, you spoke about another flavor of GPT.
Hmm.
Maybe some later at some point, maybe some other company will come up with a new AI tool like something like
Right.
ChatGPT and Bard. So what will be the source for them to get the responses? As in like for a very naive vanilla instance I'm talking about. So leave
Yeah, like
Google. Google is a search engine. Obviously it will have its own results, but
right.
maybe think about something else. Like maybe Amazon is coming with something.
Right. So
So
I
how will
think
it?
so these LLMs are available like by the data. Like if you go these LLMs, even we can build on top of it. So these are available. So basically, if we want to create only our set of data, like for example, for a corporate, due to the sharing thing, what happened with Samsung, right? Their data went out. But if you want to create it only for yourself, that part is also available. So what is the next thing about LLMs that is happening is that the companies are making LLMs specifically tailor used for you, which is like your documents. Give me all your Confluence, give me everything about your company, that I will feed this. So you can do that. That is the proprietary software that you will find. Once you get your LLM, then you can put a prompt on top and ask it to revert to you in the way you want. So Amazon, maybe, I don't know what Amazon is training its data on, but from what I understand is that LLMs are generally, you do have, even if you want to generate a certain kind of chatbot, like say a chatbot who's a friend, if you were like saying, okay, hey, today this is happening, or who wants a chatbot who you want to act like a physical trainer. You said, hey, today I ate this much, I think my weight will increase. So in your prompt, so when the underlying LLM is going to be the same, right? So that LLM has been trained on this data. So I think this I will also check. I think this Google has made its data, like, I don't know how much of its data is available to other LLMs, but basically we do get this LLM to build on top of. Like a lot of people are building on top of these underlying LLMs. And now what data is it trained on? Like entire Google data or some basic data they have open sourced it. Okay, everybody whoever wants to experiment, that I'll confirm, that I'm not very sure of. But I think it is still some good huge billions of data is still available for free. Google might definitely have more. That is why it will have an edge. But yeah, I think some of it should be free. But I'll check that. I'm not very clear on that.
Sure.
Okay. So chat GPT, we just took conversations. So randomly selected this and AI trainers had ranked them, and using these reward models, this several iterations. So this is what OpenAI had published in the chat GPT blog, that this is how they did. Full data first, whatever is there. Then on top of that Q&As, then on top of that, the human intervention Q&A. Now make it like a conversation. Like I can again ask you, like in my LinkedIn, that demo that I showed, when I wrote, made it brief and funny. So it remembered That what was my first question? Make what brief and funny? I didn't have to copy make this brief and funny. So it has some sort of context of what is already asked. So it's like more like a chatbot, but in 3.5, that would not be possible. You will have to write full question to which there will be a full answer. So this is what ChatGPT is. Yeah, and that's how ChatGPT came. So training data is conversation instead of Q&A, since we are building a chatbot, and trained on dialogue training data. That's why it can, okay, so the training spelling is wrong here. Why it can get personas prompt and can talk like a human. Okay, so this is what ChatGPT is. Okay. Right, now ChatGPT came, now what happened? Like the Pandora's box opened, right? There are, I mean, if you go and see, there are too many things that happened, and it is dangerous and it is also very useful. So the entire app can be made. You have to write the prompt properly. You have to just be very, very specific, and you can do anything with it, you know. And then even if it is wrong in one or two things, you can just write, okay, change based customize, but the majority 90% of the work it will do for you. So this was very, very crazy for a lot of people and very creepy for a lot of people, because in 5 days, there were 1 million users. The moment ChatGPT announced, and nobody had heard of OpenAI. It's not like we keep talking, oh, OpenAI, just like we talk, oh, that movie is about to release, right? When will it release? I will go watch. But here, nobody was talking about OpenAI. Nobody was talking about ChatGPT. It came, and within 5 days, 1 million users. That is unheard of. That is not what has happened in history ever. That has never happened before. You can see these are one of the most popular apps, which at the time we thought, oh my God, wow, everybody is on Facebook. It took this much time to reach 1 billion. To reach 1 million, sorry, not even billion. To reach 1 million, Netflix took 41 months. This took 10 months. This took 2.5 months. So you are seeing it's like going like that. So what are the challenges and limitations? We know hallucinations, because it does not have a ground truth. It will just work, and it's a mathematical model, right? It will just predict. So we cannot really go around it. I mean, we cannot make it like, oh, never hallucinate. It can have polarizing views, what we were discussing, that, you know, woke and all that. Based on the data it is trained on, it can spew garbage in, garbage out. And the training data, a large amount of high quality training data is needed for this, which is very difficult and expensive to obtain. So Ashok, here, your question. So I think it is there, but you have to pay for it or something. I will find out that though. Okay, so what is the future? The future is like we have been seeing it on LinkedIn. Everybody is putting academic, yeah, assignments and homework, pharmaceutical, all these things, productivity, tools, art, people are doing art, marketing, finance. It'll become more sophisticated, so it'll get even more scary. It'll become more accessible, more and more people. It might come on our phones also, right? It might work without internet also. It might just be there. You just have to pay and it will do everything for you. And it will be fully autonomous system that can make decisions and actions without human intervention, which I was talking about, agent, auto GPT. It will take so what they say, the biggest programming language now is English. If you know the correct prompt, you can get it to do anything, make apps, make a company, anything. And ethical concerns, what we talked about, you know, deepfake and all those things. Okay, so this is the iPhone moment, but we need to be careful. And yeah, we can use this to, you know, do the grind work for us. There are exciting times ahead. We can use it for our productivity, but we definitely have to get on this bus. Otherwise, we will miss out for sure. Let's see.
This is a deep fake video I made with an artificial intelligence. What you see on the top part of this video is a completely AI generated video of me talking to you, but as an entirely different person. You can see that if I turn my face and move it around, the fake video does the same, obviously. And it also mimics my facial expressions. But if you think this fake video is not exceptionally good, it's because we only did 10,000 iterations to train the AI. Imagine if we did 100,000 or even 1,000,000 iterations. Trust me, you will not even realize it's a fake. You must have already seen politicians and celebrities being deep fake, because all you need is a video of anyone to train the AI. It's that easy and very sensitive, so it should be handled with caution. This is just a video to show that the deep fake AI is now accessible to a regular person like you or me. So use it with caution and common sense. Send this to everyone to show them what.
Okay, So yeah, this is also answering Anisha, your question that, it can change based on these things. It'll keep mapping on a moving video and all that. Yeah, so that's it. So I think we are very close to time, and yeah, let me know if there are any questions.
Guys, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Yeah, I think Manisha again. Given that uh, many people are saying that generative AI is going to be the future or the next big buzzword. How important is prompt engineering, which again is making its or is trending right now?
Yeah, so generative AI is nothing without prompt engineering. So like when I showed you the few videos initially of creating a LinkedIn post, creating the PPT, apart from image generation, which also, so the more detailed, the more nuanced, the more clear your prompt is, your AI will generate that much better response. So you have to keep working around it. Like, so prompt engineering is the most important thing. It is the most important thing to communicate with an LLM. So that's why they say the new programming language is English. You don't need Python, nothing. It will do all for you, but write it in a way that it will get the best result from its underlying model based on the training data. So it is the most important thing.
So given in the field of AI, then more than data science or data scientists, I guess domain expertise would come in, would play a major role, isn't it?
Right. So in fact, people are saying, see, so the data scientists, what were they doing? I mean, you were like, for example, if you have to identify whether a company will be profitable in the next quarter or not, you will feed multiple data. You will take a lot of data of the past quarters, and you will take some, economic data, which is the universal data, standard data. And then you will put certain things, and then you can add certain factors about a CEO change, this, that, and tune the parameters. The parameters you can decide and tune it. And then you will run it on a model, right? Now that model, if you can just say it in English, that model, these LLMs, which are not even their best, this is for free. This is like, because they are also in the experimental phase. So I think a lot of this data science job, people can actually use these things to make it better. Like, if you have a hypothesis and you, like, for example, if a movie is about to release and you are like, okay, will this be a hit or a flop? So you collect data, you think, okay, this hero's last movie was this, okay, what is the, okay, festival time, when is it releasing? You put all these parameters, right? You can just tell this thing, LLM, that I want you to run a regression model on this, do a sentiment analysis using NLP, so that it will scrape the entire internet, the entire Twitter, and it will tell you that people are excited about this. A lot of people are talking about this, because you cannot go through and search everything. So I think data science, so like you said, domain knowledge would mean what are you trying to achieve, but you can give the grind work of searching, exploring to LLM, but you have to be on the top to see and verify that the result that is coming is correct or not. You can give all the research work to it, but and ask it for the citation. Are you hallucinating? Are you giving it from a citation place? So now you can also ask it for the source. Where did you get this information from? And it will give you the source. You can go, sometimes when you click on the link, you will see the link does not exist. So these things we have to do to see how better we can communicate to get the result that we want, most accurate, but definitely it will save a lot of time. I mean, even data scientists will need their own domain knowledge to put all these things. The models fine tuning also they will have to do, but the basic code writing and all these things, they can put to LLMs.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay, any last questions? We're already on top of the hour. All right. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks, Shubhanjali. I think this would be a great start. Like we all are talking about it every day, but we just have to sit and make some time to put it all and maybe explain it in this way. So Wikipedia would give you, but Wikipedia is too much to literally lazy to read all of it. So I think you made our lives easier by bringing it all on one table. So thank you so much for that. And thanks everyone. Have a great weekend, and you can join our meetup page and you can share it with your friends and others as well. And if you have any suggestions on future topics or anything more that you would expect us to do, you can send an email to the mail ID. I'm just pinging it on the chat. So it's chennai@womenwhocode.com. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Shubhanjali, again. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.